public comment. If we have anyone here who is not on the agenda and would like to speak. Okay, seeing none, I'll move right into it. We have Jake Anderson and Michael Krutzinger from Republic Services here. I guess I'll kind of walk us through it, and if you guys have anything you want to add or say, that'd be great. For most of our community, we understand that Republic Services is the landfill there north of town. It started out as, I believe, the Clinton County landfill, and then was purchased somewhere around 2005 by Allied Waste Services, and then eventually purchased by Republic Waste Services. Hopefully I got my history correct there. And the county's had a contract with them for what we call our tipping fee that they pay for tonnage that comes into Clinton County in that landfill. And for the last 2 years, year and a half, we've been working with Jake and the Republic leadership team to come up with a new contract. And so that's what we have here today. Basically something to get us a little bit more in where the times are than what it was 20 years ago. 2005 was when the original agreement was signed, and really did not have an end date to it, where the new agreement, we've kind of set out some terms. So I don't know if you guys want me to run through it. Is there anything you'd like to add? I'll just kind of touch on some of the high points here. We've had, like I said, we've been working on this for 2 years, so it's been a lot of back and forth conversation. But currently, how it's structured for everyone's understanding is we receive what is called a gate fee for tons that come into the landfill. And on average, just for simple math, there's roughly about 500,000 tons that come into this landfill annually. We've been receiving $2 per ton. So the county has a fund called the landfill tipping fee, receives about $1 million a year. That money goes to support all of our community service-based projects, fairground fees, fairground projects, anything else that's kind of outside the general budget that we want to take care of in the community. Economic development supports the hospital currently with a payment for economic development, among other things. So that fee, obviously, we all know we've been in a time where inflation happens and has happened pretty strong over the last few years, and our $1 million that we received in 2018 has less value than it does today in 2024. And so one of the things that we wanted to work towards and with them was a way to try and capitalize on some of this inflation so that our fee would adjust annually or biannually to look at that inflation, so we weren't kind of stagnant. So that's one of the things. So again, I'll kind of backtrack. There was some kind of discrepancies in our current agreement, both on their side and our side, and some things that were outdated. So we were able to work through those and come up with this new agreement. But some of the highlights is kind of as a goodwill payment to get that fund replenished a little bit. Republic Services is going to pay $1.5 million to Clinton County. We're now getting rid of the term gate fee and going to tipping fee that is based on the tons that come through there, and adjust every 2 years based on the consumer price index, so that we're now able to capture a little bit of that inflation over time. They have also decided to increase the road improvement fund that was $10,000 annually to $20,000, and then they have decided to create something we're calling community support, where they will donate $25,000 to the county every year that we're able to put towards additional community service projects. And so for this first year, I think we're all in agreement here that would go to the funding of the cemetery commission that Commissioner Hewitt set up at the beginning of the year, as kind of the initial seed money towards that to get started in that restoration project. And then lastly, we were able to agree upon a duration and a time period that this contract will end, and rather than it being kind of open-ended. So that's this kind of the summary I have. I don't know is there anything you'd like to add? Does that kind of cover where we came from and where we're headed with the future? So I'll open it up to other commissioners if you have any comments, or entertain a motion to move forward with the new solid waste agreement with Republic.
Well, it's, in my particular case, back in 2012, I had the honor to, with Alan, kind of discuss with Republic some of these issues, and I know that it's been an ongoing thing since at least that period of time. So I think it's nice that Republic has come to the table and been willing to negotiate and work with and try to get things corrected in our county, because obviously all of that is extremely important to us. And sadly to say, it's a battle every year with certain things that happen. A major windstorm comes and blows paper away and so forth. And not much they can do about it, not much we can do about it, but it's just a fact that you got to deal with that. And I appreciate your coming forward with this over the last couple of years. And Alan, you and George have worked hard on this for a couple of years again, and it's very difficult. It's hard to get together and come up with, agreeable terms that both of us can live with, and obviously it's very important for both of us. Quite honestly, we need the funding, and quite honestly, you need to have profits made. So I'm glad that you guys were able to get together and put something down. I've had the opportunity to, I don't know if it was an opportunity, I've read the whole thing a couple of times, and kudos to all of you for getting it together. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Jordan, Alan, thank you guys for your hard work. Same to you, Jordan and Michael, or I'm sorry, Jake and Michael. Much appreciated, and I can guarantee you the Cemetery Commission will put the funding to good use. We're going to clean up a lot of cemeteries. So,
Yeah.
thanks.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion that we move forward with the Republican contract and sign the new one effective today.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 to sign the new Republic Service Agreement. So, thank you guys. Appreciate it, and we'll work forward to keep moving forward. Thanks. Do you want us to sign this and take it to get the original signatures on it? Because there's a couple places for them. We'll give them this version. Okay. Or do you want to?
Just have it there.
I just, you back.
I think it's back one page.
Thanks. There you go. Yep. There you go.
You guys are more than welcome to stay, but you don't have to. You don't want to.
Yeah. That doesn't
All right,
take
appreciate
long.
it. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'll get it back. Okay, next we have Rick Campbell with Highway Update. Good morning, Rick.
Morning, Rick.
We had 5 old tandem axle dump trucks that we took to auction and got rid of. They brought $45,767. Print this off so you guys can have it.
Do we need to sign it?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I just wanted you to see it.
Yep.
And also, Asphalt Materials decided to roll the oil bid over again this year, and I was wondering if the commissioners would want to sign this.
I think it makes sense to.
I think it's a good idea.
Yep, yep. So I have it here, so we'll get, yep, we have a copy. So we'll get a motion to roll the asphalt materials bid from 24 to 25.
Motion approved.
Second.
We also finished paving 930 East north of 26 with a HUG. And we're getting ready to move to, we also paved 500 south from 500 west to Colfax Manson with Pug. And we're getting ready to move to 800 north and see if we can get the rest of it used up.
Good.
And also the guys are working on we had a county tile fail underneath one of our pipes. So we replaced those two pipes and we replaced the county tile underneath. So should get that road open back up today. That's about all I have.
All right, any questions for Rick?
When's Washington Avenue getting paid? Is that this year or next year?
Should be, no, it's coming up.
Okay.
They should be here,
Okay, I was just curious.
yeah. And also the solar farm's all paved.
Okay,
There's a half-mile stretch of 425 that is mine to get paved,
okay.
because we had to widen that road out a little bit, so try to get that done yet this year.
Okay. Thanks, Rick.
Thanks, Rick.
Next, we have Cap L with area plan update. Good morning, Cap.
Good morning. Okay, I'm gonna start off with, I just got updates here, so. Start off with easier things here. So, first of all, I had a phone call from a gentleman yesterday in regards to 750 East State Road 26. No, I had posted that earlier this year for condemnation. We decided to hold off on that because it was supposed to go to tax sale tomorrow. This gentleman called me. He is actually purchasing it from the owner. So they're closing on it today. He's going to pay the taxes today, pull that out of tax sale, and then he's going to get that cleaned up. So
Good.
hopefully we should see that cleaned up here soon. I just wanted to give you a quick update on that. And as soon as we hear something, we'll get back with you.
Okay.
Another one that was due today is Colfax Manson. So you'll see the first photo there is from back in
Thank you.
July. You're welcome. And then the next two photos after that were taken last week. So that, from what we, in accordance with what we required, it appears to be cleaned up now. Unless you feel otherwise, but if you're okay with it and you think it's good, then I think we can close that out.
I think it looks
Good to me.
Good.
That's-
Yeah.
All right, and then finally, the situation with the 9472 East County Road 600 North. I'm just going to kind of go through a little bit of a timeline of what's occurred, what's taken place so far, and what we need to have finished, and then what you guys are going to decide. So there was a statement of commitment signed by Mr. Moore on March the 29th, 2024, and it was recorded April 3rd, 2024. It required him to complete 100% of work and have a well, septic, and certificate of occupancy issued by September the 15th, 2024. Our office on April the 15th issued issued the permit, the building permit. And then Mr. Moore called for and passed an electrical inspection for power on July the 12th. Now, Liz has noted on here that as of July 15th, 2024, there was a functioning septic system. We have an email that we just received on September the 3rd that has been. So I don't know if it was as of July 15th or when Nash from the Health Department sent us the notice on September the 3rd. But irregardless, there is a functioning septic there now. Mr. Moore called for a framing with rough-in inspection on September the 13th. The interior work passed, however, the two parts of the house that had structural concerns had neither been removed nor we've not received engineering to affirm the structural stability for that. Mr. Moore also called later on in the day on September the 13th for a final inspection, but Liz denied that due to the commitments that were signed and recorded that past the 15th, we have no more authority until we check with you to go ahead and do that. So the two areas that we of concern is the statement of commitments under item 2. And also it's noted on the permit that neither the two areas that either had to be tore off or had engineering on it, we have not received anything on that. We would still need to do, in order for this to pass, a framing with rough-in for those two areas that were of structural concern, insulation pre-drywall inspection, and then, of course, the final. We can't confirm on whether or not it has, a working well. We couldn't do that until the final, and at this point, it's not ready for the final. So, Mr. Moore is here present, so if you want to have any more questions or whatever with him. But at this point, until we find out from you what it is you want us to do next, that's where we're at.
Okay,
Okay?
thanks, Cap.
You're welcome.
Anything you want to add, Mr. Moore?
Oh, yes. As you said, we did get the septic done, and Nash approved it. We had some setbacks from approvals to do the work, and then tank had to be moved, which set us back almost 7 days between the time the company could come out and remove the tank, pick it up, move it to the new hole, and then the rain set in. The electrical is on. I had the water working until we could not get an engineer to come out. We called for 2 hours, every engineer on Google. Nobody was interested in. Place in West Lafayette said they don't travel over an hour from their facility, and I told them, well, I'm in Forest, it's not really an hour. She said, well, it's 53 minutes, but we can't do it. My sister was calling, I was calling, we emailed, could not get nobody to come and look at so I had to make the choice of just tearing the 2 rooms off. And so that's what we did. I have over $1,000 in material and labor putting these 2 rooms together, fixing everything. And so, what do? You tear it off because it's not going to pass without getting somebody to inspect it, and no one would come. So we tore those 2 rooms off. I had the pump working, the well working, but then it was on the back porch, was one of the rooms that had to be tore off. So I had to disconnect all of that, move it in the house, and dismantle the room. That set us back almost 2 days by the time you tear it down, load the stuff up, and get rid of it from 2 whole rooms. The closet, which was one of the rooms, I just put all new treated floors, treated baseboard, everything on the lower section of it was treated. The deck's still there, but we tore it off too, got rid of it. That was the 2 setbacks that really kept me from, we got the siding halfway done. But trying to hire people and then they don't show up. I've been working since our meeting, 12-hour days, every day overtime I can, because you guys knew my financial was my burden. That was it. So I've been working overtime 6-7 days a week to make the money so I could pay for the septic and everything else that goes along with it. Plus, after I got off work at 8 o'clock in the morning, I come to the house and work with the guy doing the septic till 1 or 2 o'clock. And then I would go home, sleep for a few hours, and then go to work and do it again. I've been working nonstop. And, The lights are on. The water will work once I get the pump hooked back up. The only thing is I had to remove the door from the back, and the hole in the kitchen was a little different, so I'm gonna have to get a new door to put in that hole, because otherwise I'd have to get a structural engineer to come out and look again. We know that's not gonna happen, so I'll have to buy a door that'll fit the hole that's there. But as far as that goes, I got pictures, the siding on the house, everything that we've done. And with the timeline and, a couple setbacks, within 2 weeks, I could have been done with it. I mean, it's like right there. The siding, 2 days will be done. The electrical's, like I said, electrical's on and working, and the plumbing will be as soon as I get the pump stuff, because I had to relocate it into the kitchen. So, cutting a new hole in the floor and getting back under the house and rerunning all the plumbing because of removing the backside of that wall. I got some pictures if you'd like to see them.
Liz sent us pictures, exterior pictures, so we've seen that
From like today and yesterday, or,
last week,
yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
Those are photos as of Friday.
Yeah. So,
Well, this is ones with siding on the front of the house, the rooms that we tore off, and so forth.
I'm gonna give Commissioner Ewitz and Weaver an opportunity to speak here, so anything you guys have, wanna say,
No,
what do you wanna do?
well, as you know, it's been an ongoing battle for both
Yeah.
of us.
Yes, and I want to get the house remodeled. That was my whole point, is fixing the house. I never argued with you guys about fixing the house.
And obviously, you've had a struggle with the septic system. Rodney, has it been inspected now to our satisfaction?
Been inspected and passed, we did have an initial plan, had his tank close to
And so that has been cured then? Well, really a spot, because as you know, we really put the hammer down and said, this is it, this is the last day, and, we're not doing this again. It's been kind of kicked down the road 2 or 3 times. On the other hand, I appreciate the fact that you have done some things and have at least attempted to get to the end of the line.
Well, here's a picture of the house this morning if you want to look at it to see the improvement from where it was.
Thank you.
I'm really at a mix, to be honest.
Thank you.
So when's it going to happen? What's your,
I'm working every day on it. My goal, the sooner I get it done, the sooner I get to move in.
yeah, but
And I'm off today. Well, I got to work tomorrow and 2 weeks. To finish the siding and install that back door and get the plumbing hooked up. The plumbing is just going to be about a day. By the time I move everything around and reroute it and, go under the house and back out, because as you know, the crawl spaces aren't that big and I'm not that young.
I really don't want to pin down just a couple of days, but.
Well, as I say, like 2 weeks. I don't want to put myself, because I still have to work 12-hour days and forced overtime. So I don't want to say, well, I can do it at a time, and then they force me to work 3 days overtime, and I can't actually do nothing.
Sure.
And I've, like my sisters, I've tried to hire people, and they don't show up. Or they'll show up one day, and they're like, hey, I'm going to get some coffee. I'll be right back. They don't come back. It's like, I'm paying you well, because, and people just don't show up. Only people that show up is the volunteers. The ones that come and help you just because they want to, or because you've helped them.
Understand?
So I'm trying to think of when our next monthly meeting is. Is it a month away?
2nd, October 2nd
October 2nd?
is our next meeting.
I'm curious, can it be done by October 7th?
2nd.
Second,
2nd?
Should be able to. We just put half of the siding on in Friday, Saturday, and part of yesterday. So, I mean, that's 3 more days on the siding. The back where I tore that room off needs a little bit of cleanup, you know, to trim around and stuff like that. A couple hours worth of pulling nails and that kind of stuff, but cleaning that up. But I could see that reasonable.
I don't know. I see both sides of it. I mean, it's a shame that we're so close. We didn't make it by the date that we all agreed on. And this wasn't the first time that we'd agreed on a date. This is, you know, been going on and on and on and on. So I'm reluctant on one hand to say, yeah, let's do another 2 weeks because we've been burnt every other time. And on the other hand, I feel for you. And you're so close to being able to move into your house, it's a shame to tell you no at this point. So it's really, really a difficult decision. And it shouldn't have to be that way because we'd already agreed on September the 15th was it. It was
Right.
5 months from April. And most of the dates I heard were July and after.
Right.
So there was a period of time where I don't think anything happened.
We had to wait. Well, one was finances.
Right.
I didn't have no money.
Yeah.
I just started my job, so I had to build my money up because, you know, you can't buy the other. Like I said, I had most of the material, but I didn't have it all. So you put siding on, you have to have the wrap. You know, all the little stuff. I got from Menards. They were seeing me every other day. I kid you not. I mean, every one of these pages got Menards on it. Every other day I'm over there $200, $300, $400 for nails and screws, fittings, you know, the other stuff that goes with what you already got.
Right. So, yeah, I'm not vehemently opposed to another 2 weeks or whatever it is until the 2nd, but I'm not hopeful that it's gonna get done either.
So you understand that you've talked about the siding and a couple more days for that, but
Yeah.
it's really there's 3 areas that were highlighted by Cat.
Which is that?
So, well,
So the 2 concerns are on the commitments, the permit that neither have been torn off the house nor has an engineer been submitted, engineering.
They've
report
been tore off.
submitted. They've been tore off.
Yes.
As of this.
I
they
got,
have been.
yeah, I got pictures
That-
from this morning.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'm gonna just read them to you.
Okay.
Because you need to understand what needs fixed
Right.
to be compliant. And so, the other one was the framing with rough in for the 2 areas of the structural concern. They need to confirm the work is done to match an engineer's direction on that, installation, pre-drywall inspection, and then the final inspection. And then obviously they have to verify the working well and plumbing. So those are the areas of issues currently. That outside of some of the other stuff, that's what they're gonna be looking at or would look at to kind
The
of.
building inspector looked at the insulation and stuff because we still had walls open. And I've got pictures of the insulation that we put on, R21. I put Blue Ridge board on the outside, which is another R3 added to the R value. So it's over code.
yeah.
I'm
I think
I'm just going off of what
Right.
they sent us. So these are, you know,
Yes.
these are what they have told us are the outstanding issues.
Mr. President, I'm a little concerned to make it the next 2 or 3 weeks because I have a feeling that it's still a push to get that much done. Things are still gonna happen. I'd be willing to, ask for an extension for November the 7th, which should be more than enough time to finish all things. Do you agree with that?
Yep. If it ain't done, I won't show up.
Now, hold on.
I mean, I will not come up here to argue with you guys or
Because
anything.
last time.
It will
I'm-
be
I'm-
done.
I'm looking at my minutes from our meeting that you attended in April.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we agreed to this.
Excuse me.
But I've got,
And you-
every dime I got is invested in that house.
Here was your statement.
Yeah.
Michael Moore stated that if he doesn't get it done by September 15th, he will walk away.
Yep,
Now, today's September 17th,
yep.
and you're not walking away.
We did have a setback that was not our fault.
I
You know what I'm saying?
understand that, but when we put the initial timeline in place,
You know,
there's, I mean, there's always setbacks,
Yeah.
right? Like, I mean, that's just construction. So I get that, but I guess what I don't want to read the minutes again on November 7th and make a statement that you told us you wouldn't show up, and then I'm reading you a statement that you're listening to. Right?
I'll make the motion that we extend the work order and work information to include the things that have been mentioned. And let's have it done by that time.
right.
So I'll make that motion if we give you an extension till November 7th.
I'll second it. Man, do me a favor and get this done.
I'm trying, man. I've been working from sun up to sundown for last 2 weeks solid.
Because, I mean, this is it.
I mean,
Just like last time, this is it.
So
So,
I'm gonna go no, so it'll go 2-1, just from the fact that at some point we gotta be held accountable. But you got your extension.
all right, thank you.
Now, hey, hold on.
Yeah.
On November 7th, we're not gonna have this much discussion about it because you specifically told us you're gonna walk away. You won't even be here if it's not done then, all right? So if I see you, that means it's done, right?
Yep,
Okay,
all
all
right,
right.
thank you.
see you, Mr. Moore.
All right, thank you.
Hey,
You guys have a good day.
thanks. All right. Had a little adjustment to the agenda. Now we'll get back on track here. Old business, we have an amendment to our ARP ARPA ordinance, which will now be ordinance 2024-11. This is to utilize some of the remaining funds that have to be committed by the end of '24, or they get turned back in essentially, to a vague Clinton County Fairground project. So if some of you heard at the council meeting, went and asked for these funds because there's some issue with the cattle barn and some other projects we need to encumber there. This opens up that funding, kind of the first step, so that we can utilize those funds to reinvest in the buildings out there. So,
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2024-11.
Second.
all right, motion carries 3-0. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve Envoy Pay App number 11 for the courthouse and annex.
And I'll second that.
Okay, motion carries 3-0. Just for reference, the first one is for $117,155.11, and the second app's for $591,814.95. Okay, we already covered the forest property, so now we'll move on to new business. We have a suspension and debarment certification. Tom, do you want to kind of walk us through this and where it came about from?
This is something that is now being required of all the counties to have a policy like this in place. And so we reviewed the policies of a few other counties, decided to use kind of the standard language of, I forget which county it was, but basically just redid the language. And it just basically makes it so that the county is aware of who they're hiring, and those people have to meet certain qualifications of that. Some criminal records have to be checked, and we can't be entering into agreements without doing that background check first.
And so this is for any contractor that we utilize throughout the county. So they'll have to, if your department gets approved and has a contractor, you'll have to get this form, and the contractor fills it out. Yep, okay. So entertain a motion to accept this suspension and debarment certification.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0. Next item is the amendment to the Ivy Tech lease. Going back a few months, if you remember, we'd been approached both by Wildcat Cooperative, Frankfurt School Corporation, and Ivy Tech about some changes coming where Ivy Tech was going to more of a full online presence rather than a brick and mortar. And we were looking back at the original lease, which included CEF. So this takes CEF out of the lease and now has, for the remaining term, the lease being between Clinton County, the city of Frankfurt, and Ivy Tech.
Okay.
So,
Motion to approve.
Second.
motion carries 3-0 on the Ivy Tech lease. The next item is a conflict of interest for County Councilor Alan Dunn. This goes back to our last meeting where we approved the farmland rental contracts. He is filling out a conflict of interest due to being a partner in the Charles Dunn Farm Incorporated and being an elected official. So,
Motion to approve.
And second that also.
motion carries 3-0 on that.
Or,
Next item is, we have 4 sign placement request forms.
Holy cow.
So the first one is for the clerk's office, Clinton County Election Board, early voting election day. There was in our packet what those would look like. The next is Friends of the Frankfurt Public Library, and that one is, that one's for November. Obviously, the early voting one starts here in October. We have United Way of Clinton County annual campaign looking for September 17th to November 1st timeframe. And then the last one is the Doghouse of FMS, their autumn and holiday craft show.
Motion to approve all 4 requests.
Second.
Motion carries 3-0 to approve the 4 sign placement requests. All right, department heads. How many department heads would like to go?
I forgot I had something for Kat.
Kat, you're back on.
Sorry. There is a property, and it's directly across the street from Green Meadows and Blue Ridge Elementary. It looks like a swamp, or I don't know, it's all grown up and looks really bad.
Okay.
And it belongs to,
Co-Alliance.
yes,
Or
it says
Keystone.
Midland Impact, but I think that was about 10 mergers ago or takeovers
Yeah.
ago. I'm pretty sure it's Keystone now.
Yes, because I've had somebody in talking to me about wanting to do something with it. and
Oh, okay.
So they have informed me that it's Keystone that owns it.
Okay. Anyway,
So I'll get in touch with them, tell them
Okay.
you clean that up.
Okay.
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Any other department heads? All right. Move on. Commissioner reports. Commissioner Weaver. anything?
Nothing to really report other than the solar farms, like been reported, is pretty much done. Roads, very nice. Neighbors are happy. So, so
As
far
can-
so
Happy
good.
as can be. or
Not
happy-
just, not happy as can be, but they're not calling anymore. So that's a start.
That's good.
All right.
I just wanted to say, very sorry to hear about the young man from Kirkland that passed away yesterday in a car accident. His family, I know he left behind a little girl. And also I wanted to say, sorry to hear about our deputy surveyor, Zach Light's father. He also passed recently, so.
And Merit Deputy, his brother.
Oh, yeah.
Nick Light,
I keep
their
forgetting
father,
those
too.
two are brothers
So-
because
Yeah.
like this, so.
Yep. Okay. I don't have anything today, so we'll move on to our board business. First up is claims. Claims from September 6th in the amount of $6,265.32. Claim from September 13th in the amount of $8,369.46. A biweekly claim from September 17th in the amount of $571,726.17. And lastly, a court claim from the 17th in the amount of $22,043.55.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion carries 3-0 on the claims. Next, we have payroll from August 23rd in the amount of $542,326.92.
Discussion. On payroll, I understand that we still have some people that do not report their time and earnings to our auditing department or to the payroll department.
Okay.
And I think it's imperative that those people need to know that going forward, we need to have time cards reported.
Do we have a list?
We have 3 people that I am aware of, so, maybe we should send a letter to notify them directly that, based on the State Board of Accounts and based on the state law, that it's imperative that we have time kept on each employee before they receive a pay.
I think it's federal law too.
And that's
So-
enough, so.
Yep. Okay.
So,
Do you want to handle that?
Yeah, we'll send a letter notifying those people that are in default and make sure that they understand we need them in our department.
Okay.
So, we'll still go with this.
All right.
Motion to approve payroll.
Motion to
Second.
approve. Motion carries 3-0 for this payroll. Commissioner Weaver will work with the auditor's office on cleaning up the 3 that are not following the proper protocol.
Correct.
Okay? Next, we have minutes from our September 3rd meeting. I have a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion carries 3-0. Next meeting will be October 2nd. Any other business to come before us? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Thank you.